Yo, what's going on? It's D-Man, bringing to you another anime video. In this video, I'm going over the anime I'm excited to watch in spring 2019. Now, like I always say, this is not an anime guide for spring 2019. It's way too early. These shows are just now getting started. When it comes to the anime seasons, I like to do two type of videos. In the first video, I'll talk about the anime I can't wait to watch. And then the next video, it'll be posted probably a few months from now. That will be the guide, the anime you should watch. So spring 2019 is looking pretty decent, looking pretty stat, just like winter 2019. Now I have that winter 2019 guide out soon. So I'ma just say it, bro. I can't even be 100% excited for spring 2019. Only because Chihaya Furu 3 got delayed. I was looking forward to that. I've been waiting on that show for so long. But it's all good. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm gonna get the heavy hitters out the way. So to start it off, we finally get One Punch Man 2. And One Punch Man was so popular when it came out. And I'm happy because a lot of people use One Punch Man as their entry to anime. And I love that. I love when people get into anime. One Punch Man Season 2, we know what we're getting from it. It's going to be epic. We're going to have some good villains, some good characters. We're going to have some funny moments. Saitama is a good character. The only thing people are concerned about is the studio change. Madhouse overlooked One Punch Man Season 1. But for One Punch Man Season 2, it is overlooked by JC staff. And a few people are concerned, but I'm telling you, you don't have anything to be concerned about. JC staff has done some incredible work. They have done Little Busters, which is completely underrated. They have done A Certain Magical Index. They have done Golden Time, Toradora, Bakuman, and the list goes on and on. All of these are just great anime. So a few people are concerned about Season 2. I'm telling you, you do not have to be concerned about Season 2. I don't think we'll see a quality drop. JC staff, they know their stuff. One Punch Man, the actual manga is good. So you don't have to worry about that. Jumping into the next anime that I'm excited for, we have Attack on Titan 3 Part 2. Now, I know a few people that watch Attack on Titan and they're not really feeling it, but as a manga reader, I'm telling you, Attack on Titan 3 Part 2 will change your mind because this show gets so much better. It answers so many questions that we've been having since day one. Not only that, but there are a few plot twists, there are some twists and turns. You want to watch Attack on Titan 3 Part 2 because this is really where the show is going to shine, in my opinion, depending on how far they go. But we'll see, we'll see. But let me tell you, some people, you may not be ready for Attack on Titan 3 Part 2. That's all I can say. We know the animation will be on point. The story gets better. Everybody has pretty much heard about Attack on Titan, so I don't have to go into the synopsis. But just know, if you're one of those people that wasn't sure about the show, believe me, after season 1 and 2, I was one of those people. That's why I read the manga. I needed answers. You're finally getting answers in Attack on Titan 3 Part 2. It's going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to it. Next up, we have Bungo Stray Dogs 3. Once again, another underrated anime in my opinion. If you haven't seen this show, it's about a guy that was kicked out of an orphanage, and while he was homeless, he saved a guy from committing suicide. He saved his life. And it turns out that this guy was a part of a really good detective agency that have supernatural powers, and they go and hunt down people, well, not even just people and animals that are too tough for the military and the police. So like I said, this is Bungo Stray Dogs 3. If you haven't seen the first 2 seasons, I would definitely check them out. But spring 2019, it's looking like the season of sequels, and I'm definitely okay with that. Next up, we have a heavy hitter. We have Fruits Basket coming back. Now, Fruits Basket is a classic from back in the day, and they're bringing it back to 2019. I'm so excited, bro. I am so excited for this show. It's a new anime adaptation. It won't be the same as the manga, but I'm just excited to see Fruits Basket back. It's been a while since I watched this show. Once again, this anime came out a long time ago. It is classified as drama, fantasy, romance, slice of life. And if you do go back and watch the show, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I just want to tell you what it is about. So it's about a girl named Honda who is an orphan girl, and she meets 2 guys, but she doesn't know that the guys and their family are cursed. Whenever they hug somebody of the opposite gender, they turn into an animal. And so, of course, it sounds kind of weird, but most good anime sound weird, you know? It sounds weird, but just know that if you like things that kind of shake the table, if you like romance, if you like anime that is happy, but they definitely have some sad moments, some drama in there, Fruits Basket is definitely the anime for you. So I would definitely recommend the 2001 version, and then I would recommend the 2019 version. It seems so random that they were bringing it back right now, but even then, I'm not mad about it. So next up, we have an anime called We Never Learn. And this anime is pretty interesting, but I'll tell you why later. But it's about a guy named Nariyuki who wants to give his family a better position in life, so he goes ham in school so he can earn the VIP nomination. And that's a scholarship covering all future university tuition fees. And it turns out that he does get this nomination, but in order to accept it, there's a catch. He has to tutor his 2-star classmates, and these 2-star classmates are just hopeless. So he needs to find a way to tutor them so he can go to college and make his life better. Now, this is going to be good. I hope. It sounds like it's going to be good, mainly because, once again, a harem anime, one guy, he's going to have to choose. You know I love my romance anime. But not only that, but we have an anime just like that in winter 2019 called the Quintessential Quintuplets. And I did not think I would like this show as much as I do, but I love this show. So if you're telling me we're getting another one of these shows like the exact same thing in spring 2019, you know I'm all over it. So We Never Learn. I'm not saying it's going to be the best. You know, romance anime, these type of anime are just hit or miss most of the time. So we'll see, but just know that it's on the list. It will be watched. For the next show I'm excited for, we have Carol and Tuesday, and I'm telling you, this show might end up being low-key one of the best this season if they do it right. So it's classified under music and sci-fi, and it's about 50 years after humans have migrated to Mars, so that's already fire. So we have a girl named Carol. She's classified as a girl that works part-time, as well as trying to become a musician, but she always felt like something is missing. And then we have another girl named Tuesday. She was born in a wealthy family, and she wants to be a musician, but nobody around her understands. And I kind of feel you on that, because when your family is wealthy, I feel like most people are kind of put in a box, and being a musician is not in the future for them. And so she wants to be a musician, but nobody in her family understands. Now, by chance, these two girls, Carol and Tuesday, are brought together, and they want to make music, they want to sing together, and I cannot wait to see where this show goes, because it reminds me of a group. Actually, the group name is Kobukuro, and they actually did the intro to Cross Game, which is an anime we'll talk about later on in this video. But this is a real life group. They just happen to meet each other randomly, and they're doing their thing. And so an anime version of this should be pretty good, and it's sci-fi too. It's on Mars, so it'll be a different environment. I can't wait to see where Carol and Tuesday goes. Hopefully it's good. To be honest, most music anime are pretty decent. Like Nana is really good. White Album series, really good. Kids on the Slope, I'll accept Fuka, but maybe not Fuka, mainly because they deviated so far from the manga, but it's all good. Carol and Tuesday should be pretty decent. It should be pretty interesting. Now, while we're on the subject of music anime, I want to talk about Kono Ototomare. This anime is being done by Platinum Vision, and Platinum Vision, they're kind of getting their feet wet. The only other anime I've seen from this studio is Devil's Line, which came out not too long ago, but they're switching it up from that, and this is a music drama school shonen anime. It should be pretty good because it's centered around the koto, which is a traditional Japanese string instrument. I've seen people play these before, and so now it's only one person left in this club, and this person has to seek out new members before the club is shut down. So in the midst of all this, the delinquent, of course, barges into the room saying they want to join the club. And from there, the story begins. You know, they have to build the club up. And once again, it's another romance anime, it's another music anime. But I like this because it's traditional string instruments. And this, like, it would have been perfect for Chihaya Furu 3 to come out alongside this anime, but they delayed it because Chihaya Furu is a sports anime, but it's about karate. I did not even know that was a thing, but it's a traditional sport in Japan. It involves poetry, it involves reflexes, and being an athlete. I love that show. Now we're crossing over to this show, which involves traditional string instruments. So I'm just saying it would have been perfect. That's all I'm saying, but we'll stick to Kono right now. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this show. Once again, made by Platinum Vision. They did Devil's Line, but they're switching it up and going to the high school days, the club days, music. It should be pretty interesting. Like I said, man, romance anime and music anime, they're kind of hit or miss. You don't know what you're gonna get from these type of shows, but I hope for the best, to be honest. In the spring guide, I'll definitely let you know if you should watch this show or not. Next up on the list of shows that I'm excited for, we have Rabi Hachi. classified as adventure, comedy, sci-fi, and it's made by Studio Comet. If you don't know, Studio Comet is damn near legendary for me. They have made so many of my favorite anime. They have At the Mercy of the Sky, which was pretty decent. Not only that though, they have Suzuka, and Suzuka is one of those animes, it's a sports anime based off track and field, but the music is so good in that show that it kind of carries the show. Not saying the show is bad, but this girl is annoying. But other than that, the show is good. So they have Suzuka, they have Peach Girl, they have Score Rumble, all these classics, Initial D, Captain Tsubasa. This studio is legit. They make hits. Robbie Hachi, I need this show to be a hit. But let me tell you what it's about because I got a little bit excited. So it's set in Neo Tokyo. Of course, I'm loving the sci-fi in spring 2019. And it's set in a time where humans have attained super light speed technology and they formed a commonwealth of planets with aliens. So this is future. But let's talk about the main character named Robbie, who, like, his life is going to shit. He's 30 years old. He's bad at his job, so he got fired. His girl left him. He gets into a traffic accident, almost dies. And on top of all that, the worst part is they're still coming for that debt though. So after all of that, he has to deal with this bad snatcher, and this 18-year-old guy named Hachi comes through and helps him out. Robbie, Hachi, so that's how you got the show name. I'm digging it, okay. So after they get the bad back, Robbie treats Hachi to a meal, and then they go their separate ways. But in the future, Hachi comes back into Robbie's life as a debt collector. And that's where the story begins, because Robbie is trying to get away from this dude Hachi, and he tries to get on a spaceship to go to another planet. He's thinking he's alone on this spaceship. Turns out that Hachi is on the spaceship too. And so of course, I feel like they're gonna bond, become friends. But man, I just love sci-fi. And I know this anime is gonna be straight comedy. And it's gonna be interesting because like we said, it's Neo Tokyo, it's in the future. They have light speed technology. This is space travel. I love shows that take place in space. It reminds me of one of my favorite anime that no one has seen. I don't get it. It blows my mind, but the show is called Planetus, and this show is amazing. The music is really good. The story is really good. And I feel like Robbie Hachi will be a good space travel anime. I feel like it'll be good moments. I feel like it's kind of a slice of life too. They might need to throw that tag under there. Not only that, but like I said, the studio that's producing this show, they have produced classic. So I have high hopes for you, Robbie. We gon' see. So jumping into the next few shows, the next few shows are actually sports anime. I mean, it is spring, it would not be right. We have Domino Ace Act 2. Domino Ace is a decent baseball anime. They have great characters in this show. That's what really set this show apart. Everything else is pretty, not basic. I don't want to use the word basic because that's just, you know, a bad word to me. But it's pretty generic. Generic isn't a better word either, but you get the point, man. Everything else is pretty basic, but they have great characters that have good moments in this show. If you're familiar with Domino Ace, I'm pretty sure you're looking forward to Act 2. But if you haven't seen it, you know, there'll be other baseball anime out there. I wouldn't recommend just diving right into it unless you're that bored and you just need something to watch. It's not that bad. You could definitely watch it. But for me, it's like I'm too deep into it now, so I might as well keep going. Next up, we're changing the game up a little bit. Well, not really. It's the same game of baseball, but now it is with women. And so we have Hachigatsu no Cinderella 9. So it starts off with the unnamed girl who gets injured and she swore off baseball, but she meets a girl named Tsubasa, and together they want to go and win Koshin. And like I said in my Mitts video, Koshin is basically the national championship for Japan. You know, if you play sports in high school, you want to win the state championship, or in Japan's case, Koshin. And so this show is going to be different mainly because it's a girl thing. It's not softball, it's actually baseball. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if it's going to be like one of those epic shows or one of those cutesy shows, but once again, it's one of those shows that I'll just have to check out. If I have to take the L, I will. I'll take it for you. And I'll let you know if you should watch this show or not in the spring 2019 guide. But I mean, based off the description, it's one of those things where we've seen it before, but at the same time, not like this. So it should be pretty interesting. TMS Entertainment is overlooking this show, and I will go over some anime that they do have under their belt, but it is way too many. TMS Entertainment, they work on good shows, so that's why I have high hopes for it, and we'll see what happens. For the last show on this list, I saved it for last because I already talked about it. We have Mitts, which is an adaptation from Mitsuru Adachi's manga. And like I said in my Mits video, Mitsuru Adachi is a genius when it comes to sports and storytelling. Because with sports anime, you either get too much sports or too much storytelling. But Mitsuru Adachi, he knows how to balance them both, and he just makes hit after hit after hit. Like I said earlier, Cross Game is like top 20 all time for me. He has also done Touch, and this is cool too because Mits is actually 30 years after Touch. It takes place at the same high school. Man, this show Mits, it's going to be really good. I promise you, it's going to be good. Like I said, if you want to know more about Mits in this show and Mitsuru Adachi, the creator, check out the video I posted not too long ago. I'll leave it in the description. I do a deep dive into Mitsuru Adachi and his shows and how his life affects his shows because Mitsuru Adachi is a genius. So those are the shows I will be watching based off the description. Now, like I said, this is not a guide. So some shows that I mentioned in this video will not be in the guide. Some shows that I mentioned in the guide aren't in this video. That's the fun part about anime, you know? So I skipped over a bunch of like fantasy shows, those shows where people travel to another world, because like I said, man, those are hit or miss. I don't know if I should watch those or not. I really leave that up to Twitter. If I see something buzzing on Twitter, I check it out. But as for just shows I'm excited for, that pretty much sums up the list. In the comments below, let me know what you're watching and let me know what shows you're excited for. Of course, I know One Punch Man and Attack on Titan will lead a pack, but I have no problem with that. Like I said, those shows will be pretty good too. So I have the Winter 2019 guide coming out soon. That's going to take a little bit of time to make, but I hope you all enjoy these type of videos. Like I said, I want this to be like an anime hub. So I'm really bad at finishing games because anime games are hit or miss, but I feel like I just like talking about anime more, so I might end up doing that, but we'll see. Thank you for watching. You all be easy. Peace.